guys, so today is a snow day for me, so I'm taking the morning to film videos, and I got my lights set up and my cute little flowers back here. I've got notes, look at this, highlighted. I'm so ready right now. We're gonna talk about the kidneys. Why? Because the kidneys are so vital in terms of health. And frankly, if I had to pick my favorite organ or organs in the body, I would probably pick the kidneys because they're so entangled with the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is so important too in terms of health. I mean, really the whole body's interconnected, and when one thing is out of whack, it puts a lot of other things out of whack. But if you really focus on just one thing, the kidneys, I mean, it can get you really far in terms of your health and in terms of detoxing. So the kidneys have tiny little nephrons in them, right? And they're microscopic, and like they make up the structural and functional aspects of the kidneys, okay? And it just so happens that those tiny little nephrons can get super clogged up with acidifying food. But we'll get to that in a minute, okay? So what the kidneys are is they're a huge part of the elimination system, right, of the body, because they eliminate the waste from the lymphatic system, which is what? The sewer system of the body. So they form urine from the blood plasma. They play a major role in the regulation of your blood and all your bodily fluids, really importantly, the lymphatic system fluid. And they help eliminate your metabolic and toxic wastes. So if the tiny little nephrons of your kidneys are clogged up, how can it appropriately eliminate waste from the body? They can't. So then your lymphatic system gets backed up, and then dis-ease creeps in, and you just get super toxic. So we want to keep the kidneys clear, clean, and functioning appropriately. The kidneys are, much like many other organs in the body, but in particular, the kidneys are really sensitive to acidosis. And that can come from things like prescription drugs, alcohol, meat, dairy, grains, teas, coffees, chocolate, sodas, processed food, candy, etc. So a lot of the food that people call food in the modern day and age right now is very hurting to the kidneys, and that's why I don't partake in such things. I don't partake in meat, for example, because I care about my kidneys. I don't partake in all of that processed junk that does nothing for this beautiful temple, If you're watching this, you're alive, you're blessed, and you have a temple that you can keep clean if you want, and you can detox it, and you can eat healthy, and you can live this beautiful, magical, vibrant life if you pay attention to things like the kidneys. So they're just very sensitive to acidosis, and I'm really focused on that, When I eat something, I'm gonna think, is this gonna help my kidneys or hurt it? And if it's gonna hurt it, not gonna happen. Along with the kidneys comes what? The adrenals. Because the adrenals are two tiny little glands that sit right on top of the kidneys, and it's almost like they're brother and sister. They go hand in hand. So if you're trying to detox your kidneys, you've got to help your adrenals, and if you're trying to help your adrenal fatigue, you've got to help the kidneys. So for example, do you have trouble staying asleep? Like, can you fall asleep, or maybe you have trouble falling asleep too, but you can fall asleep but you can't stay asleep? Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to look at your pretty much broken adrenal glands. The adrenal glands in this society are down in the dumps. 99% of people are going to have adrenal fatigue, especially people under 30, because the human species is degenerating. They're not getting better. So the children of this day and age, you really got to focus on their kidney and adrenal health. I see kids all the time with almost black dark circles, like they've gotten punched in the eye. That's kidney and adrenal health, and that needs to be addressed before things that are far more serious come in. So if you have trouble sleeping, you got to focus on the adrenals and the kidneys. The adrenals are our stress glands, okay? So they have many functions, and it's so important to help the adrenal fatigue to, for example, sleep better, So adrenal fatigue is becoming more and more prevalent in our society due to this incessant stress that we put on ourselves. Genetic weaknesses also, and bling, 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 the overconsumption of just denatured, dead, garbage foods, caffeine, and high-protein diets. High-protein diets will kill your kidneys over time and in turn kill the adrenals. So sleep. Let's talk about sleep for a minute. So if you think about it, before the modern invention of electricity, where we constantly right now have these synthetic lights on us, like this, for example, people went to bed with the setting of the sun and they awoke with the rising of the sun. So that is nature's way, and it's nature's way for a reason. We've got to keep the circadian rhythm alive in our life. So we need to go to bed when it gets dark and we need to awake really early. So chronic lack of sleep is a health hazard, you guys. It's just true. You can eat the most perfect diet in the world, but if you're not getting appropriate sleep, you're not going to have that level of health that you should want. Our cortisol levels, which are regulated by the adrenal glands, are the lowest at night. So you guys, let's honor them. Let's honor our adrenals. And let's not push ourselves and overstimulate ourselves to the point where we're just kicking our adrenals into overdrive and it's just really, really hard on them. And then we get adrenal fatigue and we can't go to sleep and we get asthma and we get all of these things that are related to the adrenal. You know, it's a never-ending cycle of adrenal fatigue in the society due to stimulant dependency. I see this everywhere I go. People knocking back coffee, energy drinks, chocolate, teas with caffeine, and many people are addicted to these because they don't feel right without them. They don't have the energy without them, right? And if you're dependent on stimulants, why did you get addicted to them in the first place? If it's because you never had energy, then back before you even got addicted to them, you had adrenal fatigue, okay? And it's not being addressed. And it's getting worse and worse because people are not going to what's really going on, the adrenals and the kidneys and the diets and the lack of sleep. And a big thing that I want to mention is an adrenal fatigue recovery mistake is to go to steroids. We don't ever want to take steroids for adrenal health. So what can you do? What can you do to help yourself? I have about 5 points here. Okay, so number 1, eat real whole foods, aka raw, organic, living fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds that have been soaked and sprouted, seaweeds, herbs. That's what we need to be focusing our diet on. If it's made in a lab, it's going to take a lab to digest it, okay? So the processed food, all of this crazy food in the society, we need to take a big, hefty trash bag and dump it all and throw it out. And we need to bring the fruits and vegetables into our kitchen and into our lives. We need plant-based diets. And number 2, we need to go alkaline. Okay, so our body wants to be in an alkaline state, and fruits and vegetables boost alkalinity because they're alkaline. So animal protein, gluten, sugars, fried food, processed food, foods with antibiotics and growth hormones, they're all acidic, you guys. So they break down to acid in the body, and that is another thing that relates to these kidneys in the society that are just broken down. Stems from acidity. So we need to avoid stimulants throughout the day like processed sugar, chocolate, coffee, and all of this high protein junk. So on the other hand, fruits and vegetables, green juices are super alkaline. We really need to start pumping back the green juices. We've got all this arthritis in this society and all of these pain and stiffness conditions, and it's because people are so acidic they can't even walk, you know? They've got all this pain because they're so acidic. So let's get alkaline with fruits and vegetables. Number 3, let's embrace chemical-free skincare and beauty products. So I've done a recent video on my favorite non-toxic beauty products, but we need to take a look at all of the products that we're putting on our skin and on our body on a day-to-day basis, and let's look at all the chemicals in them, let's dump those out, and let's bring in non-toxic, chemical-free beauty products. So check out my video on that, and there's tons of other information on the internet in terms of products you can use and makeups and stuff like that that are not going to kill you, make you more acidic, more toxic, etc. And so just like everything you eat or drink, everything you put on your skin gets assimilated or eliminated in the body. So chemical products just tax the system, and many have hormone mimicking chemicals that scramble human hormones, and they just caused a host of problems. So we need to dump those immediately. Number 4, let's detox our homes. Let's stop using the ammonias and all of the crazy chemicals in our dish soap, laundry soap, cleaning products. Let's dump those. Toxic ingredients in common household products have been linked to asthma, cancer, neurotoxicity, reproductive issues. You know, try vinegar and baking soda and essential oils to change the way you clean. We don't need all these toxic chemicals. There's natural things that we can bring into our home that can clean just fine. So number 5, we need to sweat. Make it a priority to sweat on a daily basis. I personally love the sauna, and I go about 3 to 4 times a week. Whenever I can, I'm gonna go to the sauna. And so today, hopefully, I'm hoping that the snow will melt and I can go to the sauna later, because I make it a priority to sweat the toxins away. And in infrared saunas, you can detox like it ain't no thing. And number 6, I already talked about this a little bit before, avoid steroids. For example, allergy medication, asthma inhalers, etc. We need to dump the steroids and let's detox our body to get rid of these diseases that the medical community will never tell you that you can heal. You can heal asthma. You can heal allergies. You can heal all of these things by detoxing, juice fasting, eating a diet that is physiologically made for humans to eat, alkalizing our body, and helping our kidneys and adrenals. So all 5 of these are going to help, well 6 really, they're going to help all of the glands and organs in your body and your digestive system. So, you know, I've been doing all of these things for years now, and I feel over the moon wonderful, okay? And it's just because when you start listening to your body, when you start going back to nature, nature's diet, and you start realizing that inside this body, we've got organs and glands. And they don't like flamin' hot Cheetos. They don't like chocolate. They don't like all of this processed junk. They like alkalizing real foods that God put into this world for us to eat, right? So also for kidneys and adrenal health, you can take herbs to further along the detox, because sometimes food isn't enough. We need the herbs. That's why I really recommend Dr. Robert Morse's herbs, God's herbs. And yeah, so that's my video today. Rewind it and watch it again if you need to hear these tips again. Because we got to take care of our kidneys, you guys. We got to take care of our adrenals, and we need to do it immediately, okay? So that is my video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm going to try not to get the snow blues, because I don't really like the snow. I like the sun, and I like warmth. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye!